can do it. All right. Hello, everybody. Yeah, comfortable here. Hope you're having a good Thursday. It's another week, another live stream. And a few interesting things that I would like to go over today. I hope you're all having a decent week. It's been a crazy time, the fact that it's already spring already. And yeah, the year just seems to be flying by. We got NAMM next week. We'll be doing more about that for the stream that's upcoming. Not so much into today, but there's already been a lot of stuff that's been announced, and also some prices have been adjusted, which is causing a storm and all sorts of, guitar players who are professional economists and know everything about the world's markets and intentions to jump to some conclusions. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's see what's going on. Napalm. Super early on time today. Sup, dude? I'm always on time. But if you're talking about yourself, good job. It's good to see you in here. I don't often see your name. And hey, Patrick, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. So the most obvious price change, or the most spoken about price changes with Gibson. Les Paul Standard is now $3,000 from $2,800. And I remember last December, I think it was last December or last November, I got my Wildwood. You can't hear me? What do you mean you can't hear me? Can anyone else hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. You got to turn your volume up, Patrick. Because everybody else can hear me, apparently. And I'm seeing levels. But, yeah, the Wildwood I got was less than what a new standard cost at that time. And, yeah, it's just going to keep going up. And the thing with Gibson you got to keep in mind is they're selling. They're still selling. So as long as people are still paying the prices, they're just going to keep pushing as far as they can go, I suppose. Okay, hold on. Oh, Mr. Moneybags is back. The investments guy. I remember him. Yeah, that's awesome. Good to see you back as well. Burl Investments. Hey, Greg. I'm the one that knows everything about the markets. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that'll be good when we get into the markets. We'll go a little bit more into that. Sound could use a few dB. What was I doing here? I was doing something different. Oh, I remember why the sound is down a little bit. In case you guys missed it, I gotta open up the console on the UAD. I actually did a stream on Sunday. And the reason that this is down was because I was playing guitar and I was doing a lesson. So I didn't want too much mic bleed here. And console is really struggling to open right now. It does not want to open the UAD console. Maybe it's because my computer is stressed from streaming. Give me a second. We'll get it addressed. But yeah, that's the reason why I didn't want to have too much bleed from the guitar. But that was a lot of fun. And that's something that we're going to be doing more of, where I play guitar and we actually talk about either theory or, brief lessons or stuff like that with everybody on here. And that really doesn't want to open. All right, let me try and force quit that and boost it manually here. That should have done it a little bit. A little bit. I apologize if it's not perfect, and I'll even move the mic a little closer. All right, cool. So let me catch back up. You have been watching the prices tick up? Yeah, well, they're not the only ones, Gibson. Sir make an Alt-T, which is my favorite Sir model. And I see that those are now $3,449. Now, those are fine instruments, but that's absurd pricing. To me, I feel like that's so over the top. And at least with the Gibson, you're getting a hard shell case with it. You get a gig bag with a $3,500 guitar before tax, basically, with those Sirs. As great as they are, and I know some people like the gig bag, and it's not a bad gig bag by any means, but man, that's a hard sell for me. And that was one of the other guitars I was like, maybe long term I'd always like to have one of those. I mean, at these prices, and it's not happening. Thoughts on Kiesel guitars? I used to live 10, 15 minutes away from them. Their factory. And I don't know, I just never got into them. Just never got into them. For one reason or another. I don't have anything bad to say about them, but I don't have anything good to say either. It's just one of those things. I don't have direct experience with enough of them or direct experience with the brand or the people that work there to be able to say anything either way. Just think of it like a neutral thing. I'm sure they're great. Obviously, a lot of people love them. It's 2 years ago. Fender Custom Shop basic prices. Yes. That is part of the problem, isn't it? And don't look at new Fender Custom Shop prices. Those are going in the wrong direction too. But everything is. Everything is. So it's a good time if you're not a schmuck like me who flips guitars. You should maybe consider this is a good time to kind of calm down a little bit if you're somebody who's buying a lot, because it's just going to get more expensive. And the problem is it's not that it's limited to just guitars. Obviously, the cost of everything goes up. If you do your own shopping, I don't need to tell you that everything is more expensive. So it's all falling into line, and all these discretionary spending of income, so to speak, which guitars are for a lot of people. It's excess. That just take a closer look at it. Make other considerations. Unless you just have enough money, you don't care. So there are some people like that too. I need to find a way to make this chat bigger so I can actually read it as I'm streaming here. Okay. Gibson used to have amazing deals in the reverb shop. They did. That's how we got that one. Cool. I want that Squire 60th, only 500 Europe. Checking shipping costs. Tolman says, can't ship Squire to the USA. Is this new? I texted them back a few hours ago. They started to enforce that, unfortunately, yeah. They actually enforced that last year. I demoed the 40th anniversary Jazzmaster. I was able to buy one new from Tolman. But I was the first one to post a video on that guitar on YouTube because I was just like, I know I can get it before anybody else. And when I linked it and I was just like, you can buy them from Tolman right now, a bunch of people commented back like, oh, no, they're not shipping it to us. It says it can't do it. So I don't know why they did it for me. But also, as recent as yesterday, actually, I wanted to price check something at Anderton's because they announced new Squire Fender special runs. I wanted to see what they were going for just out of curiosity. And those can't ship here either now. And that wasn't always the case. You used to be able to order from America. Like they had a limited run of double-bound 60s Telecasters in Candy Apple. Or no. Candy Tangerine, a green, and some other color. You could get them directly from Anderton's. This new run, it says not available in your country. So things are just getting a little bit more stricter with that, unfortunately. Kiesel is becoming the cheapest way to buy an American guitar? Quite possibly. Depends what you like, what you want. There's other places you could do it. But as far as big brands, because Kiesel's a well-known brand, yeah, they're one of the few that are left. But you still have Ricardo Sanchez. He builds great guitars. And if I were, and this is just down to personal taste. If I was in the market for an American-made guitar from a smaller brand, that's who I'd call, because he makes guitars that are way more up my alley, like Cabroneta thin lines with either Duesenberg or Bigsby with the Filtertrons, or your choice of pickups. Yeah, just way more my style than Kiesel's. Kiesel's just aren't my style. That's all. Nothing wrong with them. New at least. Yeah, you can never get into Kiesel. I don't know why. Again, nothing bad. Nothing good. Lots of things from Tolman got banned to ship here last year. Well, that's unfortunate. I have something that might arrive while we're doing this today from Tolman that I'm going to have to mad dash through to get it up for tomorrow. I have some funny things to talk about with that. But we'll save that until we start going into these. Okay. Hey, Rob, how's it going? Links to these guys, people. Good? Huh? What do you want links to? To Tolman? I think it's just Tolman.de. If I'm being honest with you. But yeah, I think now that I've also said it's Tolman that I ordered something from, I think you might have an idea of what it is. G&L offers great value. It's a Fullerton line. I have a USA Fullerton Legacy. Yeah, I'd be more keen buying a new G&L than probably 99% of new Fenders. I don't know. And it's funny because I do feel like I got lucky with the American Vintage 2, which I'm already selling. But because it didn't have egregious errors on it. But I still I don't think it's like a fantastic guitar either. Certainly not worth that kind of money. And what I like about G&L, it's just the headstock that kills it for some people. It doesn't matter how good of a guitar they make. It's the headstock. It's the fact that it's got that slit in it. They can't do it. But their build quality and their quality control seems to be a step ahead as of right now from where Fender USA is, and you're paying less for them. So if you could find an American G&L used, you get an awesome price on one of those, and it's a great player. You don't have to worry about it. No, the American Builder. Oh, okay. Ricardo. Let me see if I can load that up here. It's just Ricardo's guitars, but he is. Hold on. You know what? Let's see if we can load up the browser. Would you like to restore the pages? No, I would not like to do that. Okay, so let's go to window capture. We can do this real quick in case any of you don't know who I'm talking about. And when you see these guitars, you'll be like, oh, that makes perfect sense why you would rather go there instead of Kiesel. All right, so that's not a good start to the website because it's loading up some other experience thing. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's very 3D. So guitars and basses. This is just, I'm going to put the link to it. If you want to follow along, I'll put it in the chat right now. There you go. And again, no affiliation. He just makes cool stuff, dude. He just makes cool stuff. So let's look at some of these guitars. T-Series. Obviously, I'm going to go to the T-Series. What? That's only $1,000? It's got a shorty picker on it. That's pretty cool. Okay. That's just the main T. Okay, the website's changed a little bit. I apologize. Custom. That's what I'm talking about right there. And you can get it with the traditional F-hole. You don't need to get it. That's his signature on that one. But something like that, come on. That's way more my kind of guitar than a Kiesel. I'm just old school. Or you get it with no F-hole. That actually looks really slick too with the Duesenberg. The Filtertrons, and yeah, that's $1,400, guys. And he's making them here in Nashville, I believe. Semi-hollows another $100, and you get to pick all this extra stuff. Really cool. So if you're somebody who wants all of the modern stuff, like the stainless steel and all that fun stuff, yeah, $20 for stainless steel frets, a little bit extra. You know, if you don't want binding, $30. I mean, for you could max this thing out. Let's max one out and let's see. I don't want mahogany, but we'll do alder. Binding, I definitely want it on the back. We'll do an F-hole. No, I don't want it fully chambered. We'll do a master grade. I don't even know. And we'll do ebony. Block inlays. Cream binding. Stainless steel frets. Chrome. Locking tuners. Goldo. And I actually really like those P90s. And that would be how much? Oh, it's not going to tell me? Well, that was a waste of time. Anyways, you guys get the point. Here's some other ones they have. That's a beaut right there. Yeah, same thing. Order sheet. And then Sunburst versions. But look at $1,400. These are made in America. And they have all sorts of other ones. I believe these are the Mustangs. Yeah. I don't necessarily think the F-hole looks great on that guitar. I would do one without an F-hole. It just looks like it's in a strange spot. But that design itself, look at that. That's a looker. That's a looker. $1,400. Would you rather a Mexican Fender or would you rather this? Just saying, you guys. I'm just saying. All right, let me get out of here. So yeah, there's our hookup for the day. And I'll go back to reading the chat because obviously I wasn't reading the chat while I was staring at the computer here. All right, load it back up. Greetings from Clearwater, Florida. Oh, you're not too far away from me, my friend. I'm in Naples. So you're having a good day with the weather as well. Although, hope you don't have dogs. Only because those damn killer death cane toads are back. It's terrifying. The dog, if you've never heard me talk about those before, there's specific to here and other parts of the country. If your dog eats one of those things, it doesn't matter if it's a little 5-pound little yap dog or like a 100-pound dog, is gone within 20 minutes. The end. And they're everywhere. And they breed like freaking crazy. There was 3 outside of my garage when I took my dog out for a walk last night. Not fun. Not fun. One of the worst parts about living in Florida. Dave's has some G&Ls on sale. Oh yeah, Dave's is a great place. No problem for that. Yeah, Ricardo's the best. He makes really good stuff. You take a Kiesel Vader for obvious reasons, but don't see me ordering one until a financial windfall. That's not a bad way to do it. Don't spend money you don't have. I'm hosting an open mic tonight for at least 4 hours and I'm knackered. It's Red Bull time. Red Bull will kind of work, but you're going to crash hard at the end of it. I know you don't want to hear this, Rafa. I know you don't want to hear this. Drink a lot of this. Water. Have a coffee. And have water. You won't feel as terrible afterwards. It's worth it. Okay. I love my old Gina. Oh, hey, Rex. How's it going? With the Z-Coil pickups, had a chance to meet George Fullerton in Amp some years back. He is a very nice guy. You can actually talk to him. Isn't that strange? Well, $20 for stainless steel frets. I've seen other brands with 200 markup. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's value out there, but a brand like that, I didn't know Ricardo was even making guitars until about 2 years ago. And those have gotten more expensive. So there's still value out there. But, of course, if you're going to Paul Reed Smith, or you're going to Gibson, or you're going to Fender, or one of the more popular boutique brands like Sir, we were talking about their price increases. Yeah, this stuff's going to be very, very expensive. One of the great things about if you go to a small builder who's on the up, like Ricardo, you're getting in at a price that is so reasonable. By comparison, that may not always stay as reasonable because as more orders come in and the success of the company and it grows and more, it's just going to go up. Because why wouldn't it go up? Everybody who does this, especially if they do a good job, they deserve to make a good living doing it. So get while the getting's good. Although I did ask him if he would do a purple sparkle finish on one of those, and he said no. And I was like, you just lost the sale. Yeah, I didn't really say that, but I was just like, oh man, that sucks. I literally just decided to make some coffee over Red Bull Smart Man. Red Bull's just terrible for you. Dude, you guys, that stuff's poison. Look, I'm not here to advocate for your health or claim to be a health expert or a doctor, but Red Bull is terrible for you. It's terrible. Coffee will do you just fine. Coffee and water. Make sure you're hydrated. Getting a shower and coffee. Thanks for the play-by-play. Yeah, just don't have a Red Bull. Just don't do it. Did I see your comment? Which one? I don't think I did. Give me a refresher. Okay, cool. But anyway, yeah, I mean, guys, not going to be the dead horse here with the price stuff. Just don't be shocked when you see your favorite brand or your favorite model going up in price. Caveat to that, again, there are obviously, we went over some American builders, but if you buy from overseas, your money is still, by some act of God, worth something, and it can go a long way. Specifically, if you're in America and you're buying Japanese guitars, still not a bad time to do it. And lots of great stuff to choose from, or you're not going to get gouged to death. Just throwing that out there. All right, cool. Tea is good too, but tea doesn't do it. I'm lying. I just said tea is good. My wife likes tea. I can't stand the taste of tea. I think it just tastes terrible. I'll drink it when I'm sick and I have to. That's it. The pink Japanese Fender. That one? Yeah, you can get one of those. There's all sorts of good stuff. Okay, I got my Ernie Ball Music Man before the prices increases. Thank God. Yeah. Well, Ernie Ball, another place that went up. It's to be expected. It's to be expected, you guys. So don't worry about it. Don't harp on it too much. So I'll get into the Tolman thing real quick. And also, I'm going to give you guys a thing here. This is, I genuinely chuckled to myself. Hold on, wait. I'll answer this one from Matt real quick. Any chance of seeing a full review of the Troublemaker that you just played? Absolutely. Next Friday. You can hold me to it. It was going to be tomorrow until what happened that I'm about to tell you the story of happened with Tolman. All right. I have been mocking myself incessantly for a bit here, as far as being not the brightest when it comes to doing the things that basically all successful YouTube people do, which is, I have affiliate links. I never mention them. I have things that I like, brands that I work with, like Signals Music Studio for the lessons. I only bring them up on videos that I'm doing a lesson on. Like, I just don't say like the little thing that everyone says at the beginning of every video, or if I do a demo on a guitar that like Tolman sells, for example, even though I have a Tolman affiliate, I don't mention the fact that I have one. I'm stupid. So I decided the other day, I was in the Discord, and a new member who I just gave a guitar lesson to, mind you, on Monday, and that went really well. So I'm going to start doing more of that. New member comes in, and just totally green to everything. And he was just asking about what YouTube pays and all this stuff. He was like shocked. I was like, yeah, I don't make much money on YouTube. I actually told him about what I average a month. And if you think I make a lot of money on YouTube, I'll tell you. My average is about $260 to $280 approximately is what I make. That's not a lot of money. And then he comes back with this zinger of a line. God bless this guy. He wasn't trying to insult me, but when I read it back to myself, I was like, that's pretty bad. He's like, so, and he's like, how long does it take you to make a video? Like the video you just made. It was the guitar demo I did. The comparison between the tellies. And I said, maybe 7 hours. And he's like, well, how much does that pay you? I'm like, I went and I looked at it. I'm like, I think I made $10 on that video. He's like, so you did 7 hours worth of work for $10. Yeah. Say that out loud. Terrible. So what I decided to do is I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to at least do all those little things. I'm not going to go full on like some channels do. And I actually, like I said, we're adding another live stream where it's just going to be guitar playing and stuff like that. And I hope you guys can make those on Sunday. That'll be a lot of fun. And we can work out ideas and talk about technique and all that. But I went to Tolman to try and refresh my affiliate link because it wasn't working. And they're like, oh, you should apply for this program. And I qualified into I can't make this up, the influencer program, because I have over 5,000 subscribers and over 1 million views or something silly like that. So I have like this whole new dashboard of stuff. And then, yeah, I said, you know what? I'll kick it off by saying happy birthday to Harley Benton. So tomorrow will be the Fusion. I don't have a 24 fret guitar. I'm not buying another Paul Reed Smith. And that's that. So from here on out, I'm telling you in advance, you're just going to have to deal with the fact that I don't have sponsors. So I'm going to spend 30 to 40 seconds, maybe I could do it quicker than that, on every video I make, just telling everybody, if you want to help me out, you can use the affiliate link. It won't cost you anything else. It really would help me out. Thank you. Anyways, here's today's video. That's it. I don't know why I have to explain it, or I feel the need I have to explain it, but I don't know. I've always felt weird about that. Drink Stella makes my playing sound okay. Jesus. I like Japanese Fenders, but the pickups are usually very underwound. Depends what models. The ones in the pink one are very modern spec. And especially the neck pickup. The neck pickup's a lot better than some of the older ones as far as output goes. And that was very noticeable to me. Okay. Do you and your wife have any recordings for sale or download? We don't. We literally were just playing live. That's ever since we started. We were playing live and we hit the ground running. And then she got pregnant. Like, I don't know, a year into it. And we were about a quarter of the way through tracking a record. And it just went on hold forever. But the good news of that is we're about 60% done now. Everything done in the studio, except for a few things done here. And that should be, we have to get it done before our kid finishes school. So that'll be, before May, all the tracking will be done. Then we'll get it sent off and we'll be good to go. But we're actually like genuinely making progress. So that should be hopefully by the summer. And then if you really want to support, you can buy that and tell me how bad of a guitar player I am. How bad my original writing is. You certainly work hard. If people legitimately take issue with mentioning affiliate links, that's something. Yeah, no, it's just I just weird, man. Because when I started doing YouTube, the main reason I wanted to do YouTube was because I thought a lot of guitar reviews sucked for guitars that I liked, or there weren't any for guitars that I liked. I like Japanese guitars, so it's either like the person would genuinely have no idea what they were talking about, or it would be a store that pretended to know what they were talking about and just like get like basic information wrong. And I'm like, no, guys, you can't just make stuff up. You can't just make stuff up. And I don't get everything right, but like, it's kind of egregious. And I was just like, you know what? I could do better Japanese guitar reviews. And then if I start buying and selling guitars, I can demo them. And people will say, oh, that guitar sounds great. I want to buy that guitar. That was the only reason I started doing YouTube. It just morphed into whatever this is. I wanted to use it as a way for me to increase my business as a buyer and reseller of guitars. The rest just kind of happened. That sounds great. Rex, I'd love to be on anything. And another record that is done. I have to check my email if we have a release date yet. But everything's done. Mix, master, copyright, and album artwork. Everything's good to go. No, he hasn't sent back the actual date yet. But no, that should be within a month or 2 months, because we're not doing we're not going to be able to play shows together, so we're not going to stall it because he's out in San Diego still and I'm here, so we're just going to release it straight up. Be like, whatever, no fanfare, no build up, no release countdown, anything like that. Like maybe I'll do like 2 weeks or something like that. Not going to sell a ton anyway, but it'll be good stuff for people that want to hear the music. You guys already would have heard one song that we did that I posted that's fully mixed and mastered. Come on, that was a lot of fun. It's just fun, just not overproduced stuff. And I'm doing a full review of Rex's record. I want to make an actual video on it. And again, it's there's something else about it that's kind of had me slowed down. You'll understand when you see it, Rex. But I'm very bad in general. Forget guitar. There's just certain things in life I'm very bad at, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I do that review. Anyway, you'll buy my CD. Thank you. Price increases are great because they invite competition. While certain PAs sell for more than what I'm willing to pay, that's fine. But it opens void for better options. Yeah, That's why I don't buy PRS guitars anymore. I probably won't. I just spill water on myself like an amateur. And it's not that I think PRS guitars are bad. I think that the value proposition is so far gone. There's no point. I feel like it's hard to buy and sell guitars to make money. It is, but it isn't. You have to know. You have to like. You're good with investments, okay? You know all this stuff inside and out. This is not to pat myself on the back. This is just from decades of doing it. I know Japanese guitars inside and out. I know the market so well with those guitars. I just do. So I've been able to make a really good, go of it, so to speak. And when I started this YouTube channel, I think I had 3 guitars outside of the acoustic that were just mine. And it's just been building and building and building and building and building and building and building. I'm not spending out of pocket. It's just hard work and grinding and grinding and reinvesting and reinvesting. And I have a few more on the way that are just bought to sell. It's just, I feel like you have to, you can't gamble on that. And I don't like buying guitars that are mass produced here in America or Mexico or just available here in America in general to buy and sell, because you are fighting an uphill battle. It's a commodity supply and demand. If you have something that's not available in a certain region and you're the only one that has it, you can dictate what you can sell it for to a certain extent, provided that you don't have any direct competition going at you. Why do you think Mike and Mike's Guitar Bar are rolling in money? They don't have nearly as much competition. So they can literally just buy a guitar brand new for Japan that costs the equivalent of $1,100 or $1,200 and sell it for over double, plus charge more for the shipping than it did to get it from Japan to begin with. On top of that, it's because they've built up a rapport with the customers that do like them. Granted, I'm not one of them, but I'm at least smart enough of a business person to understand how they're able to do this. They have the following. They have the trust. They have their front man who everybody likes and all that stuff, right? I'm not saying anything bad about him, but like that's important. They're selling themselves as a brand. And then on top of that, I know what they're paying for these guitars because I see them for sale new in Japan. Some of them I also buy. And they're able to sell them for double, sometimes triple. That's just business, man. And they're good at it. It is what it is. As an example, Fender's ludicrous prices have opened a window. Yes. Fender USA's prices and Fender Mexico's prices, they're about to get sillier too. You wait. Looking forward to hearing it. I look forward to sharing it with you guys. Maybe I'll just do a live thing where everybody can just sit and we'll just listen to it. Although on YouTube, it's going to compress the hell out of it. I'll just post it on the website for a day or two. And I don't even know if we're just going to do, I don't know how we're going to do this as far as selling it. I got to talk to Dave. I think what I might do is just like make it, you can download the whole thing for $1. Like that's the minimum you have to pay for it for the whole album. And if you don't want to pay $1 for it, or you want a hard copy, you could either order a hard copy for a set price, which whatever we decide to do, it'll probably just be vinyl. Limited release, or you just pay whatever you feel like you want to pay for it. That way, like anybody who wants to have it for $1, there, enjoy it. And if you feel like it's worth more, whatever, then cool. We'll go from there. Because I think the days are long since gone of doing it the old school way. At least I feel that way. In 2 months, can you help me buy a Japanese Fender guitar? Yes. What's the bad news from Germany today? I didn't hear any bad news from Germany. Huh. Yes, Matthew. And again, like, look, I don't love those people. I mean, I make it pretty obvious. I feel like there's a few things that are just straight up unethical. And you know, it's like gray area stuff where it's like you're not really doing something wrong, but you're not being completely honest. However, as a business model, genius. and very, very profitable. Need about a year to absorb the guitars I purchased over the last few years and get some recordings done. Then would look at exploring a 77. That's if I speak too much. Don't want to put too much on my plate. But it's a great brand to look into. They're very, very, very good people. And they make stellar instruments. Everybody at Divisor does. Look at how many Squires and Paranormals bought at half price during the sales and now trying to flip them. Some are asking new prices. Good luck. Yeah, I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. It really is. Pitbull Audio, or no, Pro Audio Star, couldn't give those Paranormals away for half price forever. I think they actually still have them. A bunch of them. If you want one of those things for half price. If you go to their website. And it's just, I mean, and that's the other thing. I'm not going to flip guitars like that. That's why you don't often see. So somebody was asking me just like, are you a gear snob? Because you don't demo the cheaper brands. I'm like, no, that's not why I don't demo the cheaper brands. I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. If I'm demoing a guitar that I didn't purchase to keep for myself, the reason I have that guitar to begin with is because I believe I can make a profit reselling it. Like that makes it worth my time. So say I get one of these Paranormals, right? And I save their $400 guitar, say I get it for $200. I turn around, I sell it on Reverb for $300 a little bit later. I've made a profit, right? No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You still got to pay for shipping. You still got to pay your 7.5% fees. After that, what are you breaking even? And for what? For what? No. And then you also just, what if that guitar comes back up for sale and Pitbull Audio or Pro, I keep saying Pitbull, a Pro Audio Star or some other place that gets a ton of these, they all of a sudden have another batch where they went back down to the half price and then you're just stuck with this guitar that's quite frankly, maybe not as good as some of the other stuff you have. And in my case, absolutely not. Not going to do that. And I don't want to demo things that I don't have interest in. That is not going to change. I'm not going to buy something for the sake of it anymore. I'm not going to do it. If somebody wants to send me something, I'll try anything. But any piece of gear that you see me have on this channel, it's because I have an interest in it or I think I can make money selling it. That's it. There's no in between. So maybe I'll miss out on some of the views by not doing all the big brands' most popular releases and all that. I'm fine with that. But that's just me being honest. If that markup to buy a JP guitar for you, it's never. Most of the time, it's not worth it. But I'm also, I'm gonna do it too, just not to the level that they are, because it's going to sell. And like I said, there are certain guitars that I know when I see the new price, if I hold it long enough, once they become not available, I can make a decent amount of money. Like for some people, like a week's worth of work. Why wouldn't I do that? I have to do that. I have a kid. If I have the knowledge, the skill set, know where to get it, just shouldn't feel bad about it. It's just not crossing that moral line and obviously not building something up to be something better than it really is or lying in the description or buttering things up too much. That's the other thing I can't stand. That's not specific to any one shop. A lot of shops do that now. And with Japanese things, not everybody does know the history and when the best years are, or serial numbers, or even what the difference between crafted in Japan and made in Japan really is. There's a lot of stereotypes out there about it, but a lot of people will spit out the information as if it's fact, and it's just, it's not true. It has to do with Fujigen Gaki and Dainagaki. And another place. But I have a full video on that, so we can reference that. I had a Fujigen Les Paul come in that got held up by FedEx Customs. They didn't see the guitar for 2 weeks while the seller had to tell the numbers. Hey, this is not bone or ivory. Oof. Yeah. Customs could be a pain in the ass. They could be terrible. I've been there, man. Not fun. We use audio movers and Zoom to share a live test pressing playback when we release our vinyl. It was great visiting with people while the record was spinning. Well, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. That does sound like fun. The reverb fees. Just sold 2 pedals and ate like 60 in fees plus 30 to ship. That's why I don't do it. I want your pink Japanese guitar, the Ishibashi one. Japanese sellers on eBay, you'll still pay less even if you do that. What would they be asking? Let's play a game. I'm gonna guess, and then I'll check in a second. I'm gonna guess. And the other thing that sucks about eBay is you buy from eBay, you're paying tax too. Whereas if you buy it directly from a shop, but you're paying or not. I'm gonna guess you can probably get one of those out the door for $1,600, which in reality, it's still not a bad price. I'd still green light it because it's still going to appreciate way more than that if you wanted to sell it once they're all sold out. But let me see. Let's go to eBay. All right. Oof. 1880, 1826, 1872. Maybe Jimmy was off here. 1826. Oof. 1826. Okay, there you go. 1447. That's about right. And that's somebody who you'd want to buy from. Well, if you were going to do this, that's somebody you'd be more likely to buy from. 11,000 reviews and 99.6, and by far the best pricing. There you go. So yeah, I'm pretty much right on there. Free shipping. Yeah, come out to a little under 1,600. There you have it. I did buy 2 Squiers half price, bass 6 and a baritone tele-custom. Specialty guitars for myself. No resale. Both are pretty good. And I had file out front spot modding both over time. That's cool, man. And those are decent. That's one of the guitars I looked at yesterday was a baritone tele-custom. Purple sparkle. Can't buy it in America. Never going to get my purple guitar. It's a shame about the PRS because that was purple, but that wasn't going to stay purple. And honestly, man, I don't know. I know Matthew's interested, and I said something about this in the when I did it wasn't a demo. It was just a playthrough of the Troublemaker when I just wanted to play it, and I really enjoyed doing that. I'm just gonna ask you guys real quick. But what I was going to say is, I noticed the coil splits on the Troublemaker were better than anything I've heard from PRS ever. And that's like, I didn't think that those pickups would be any good at all, but it felt way more natural. So I was just like, oh, nice. Okay. Do you want to see our first playthrough videos? This is very relevant, today's poll, because I am going to be on a very limited time budget today. But I will do it if enough people do it. Because some people say they like it, but also, like, when I look at the YouTube thing, it's like people watch, like, 2 minutes of, like, an 8-minute playthrough. So I don't know if that actually is what people want to see or not. But I have fun doing it. The one that I'm kind of bummed got lost, the actual memory card I used corrupted in my camera, and I had to rewrite over it, was from the American Vintage. I'm actually kind of happy that it didn't get posted. But you could tell right away, like, I felt bad. I was just like, oh, God, like, I'm not in love with this guitar at all. But I also think it's good for, like, balance to have stuff like that because I'm not going to love everything. There's no way. Just the 2 I've done, I've happened to really like. Okay, even with custom fees, always cheaper to go that route than to buy from U.S. sellers. Oh, absolutely. Yep. Or Florida Man Guitars. That guy's out of his mind with his pricing. He's out of his mind. He's like $1,000 over on everything he sells. I have to laugh. I remember when Made in Japan guitars were about $800. The Paisley Jazzmaster Paisley 8 to 1,000. Yeah, and you could buy those in America for those prices. Those were some of the later runs. And you also could get Jags. in that run. Jazzmasters and Jaguars with rosewood fretboards, 7 1/4 radius. I had bought one. I had a pink Paisley Jazzmaster. Bought it for $999, Parkway Music, upstate New York. And I sold it for a loss, I believe. I moved back to California. Very short notice. Sold a lot of things. And the 50th anniversary Jaguar also got sold. Ugh. Sucks. I almost bought a pallet of those guitars. Yeah, you should have. You probably would have been rich. All right, so if you could just vote in today's poll, I'd appreciate that because I'm going to need to know that for the Fusion. The old Fusion. And I think that this is a good way to do this. The Fusion. To have a 24 fret guitar that, I don't know. I can't get into the, to some of the other brands that are in that price range that have 24 frets in them. I'd rather just continue to support Harley Benton. Harley Benton have been very good for this channel, and I've liked a lot of them. I really have. I think there's only like one or two I was just like, yeah, I really love this. And that wasn't even to say they were bad. But I think they make good stuff, and I'd rather do that than some of the other alternatives that are available out there. Usually Chicago music, yeah, they do. They do. And it'll be priced about $150 more. That's the crappy thing about it. When CME gets them, even when taking into consideration the currency differences, they ask way more than what the places in the UK, whether it's Thomann or Andertons, get these things for. It's significantly cheaper to get them in the UK. It sucks. But it is what it is. You don't have the option. If you want it that bad, you're going to buy it from CME, or you're going to buy it from a reseller who's reselling a $400 Squire on Reverb for $1,000. I've seen that before. Wild. Ugh. It's a crazy market, man. Absolutely crazy market. Ooh, that's actually more split than I thought it was going to be so far. Almost 70-30, 67-33. So not many. So some people really don't feel that. I wasn't so sure some people would, but the majority of people do. But it's always strange setting up the microphone and just to the amplifier and just really playing a thing through, because what happens if I film it and I get a guitar that's set up terribly, like really bad? This happens sometimes, even with expensive guitars. It's set up terribly. I can't play the thing out of the box. It needs a full setup. Oof. That's not a fun video. And then it's just going to look bad on the brand. Maybe it's not their fault. Most of my premium guitars are made in Japan. Probably my best playing guitars are the Jets, the Gretsch. That's awesome. Yeah, Terada makes awesome stuff. I knew what you were getting at, Matt. I knew what you were getting at. No worries. You didn't need to delete your message. But the Terada makes awesome stuff, just like Terada made that Cruise Les Paul I have. The Key to the Rock. It's fantastic. If I just put that guitar in somebody's hands and said, play it, don't look at it, they'd be blown away by it when I told them how affordable it was. And when I told them where it was made on top of that. Because it's one thing when it's just like, oh yeah, this guitar is really good for the money. Mass-produced Indonesian, Chinese, whatever it is. But something about, you really can't tell a difference with some of these Japanese guitars. And there's just like that like other thing. It's like a lot of people, it used to be that Japanese guitars were a joke in this country to many players. It was the United States or bust. And over time, it's kind of evolved where many will still say the United States is number one. I strongly contest against that at this point. They will put Japan second now. Like they have the respect for Japan. And then the other countries, they're where Japan was to them 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I'll never play a Chinese guitar. All they can make is junk. Well, a lot of people play Eastmans that love them. They happen to be made in China. Anybody can make a great guitar. Give them the right materials to do it. Have the right people with the right skills to be able to do it. Anybody can do it. Doesn't matter where in the world it is. I just prefer Japanese. There you go. Maybe a Gretsch one day. We'll see how it goes. However, my friends, I'm going to call this one for the day in 3 minutes. We had 26 people watching, but only 13 votes. So for you 13 people who have not voted that are watching, I please would appreciate if you could like, comment, subscribe, use my affiliate links, but most importantly, I say that because I don't have any affiliate links on this video. If you could just vote whether you'd prefer to see more of those or not. I don't know. I really don't. I'm just trying to get a gauge. Just trying to get a gauge. Hey, Evan. Everyone say happy birthday to Evan. Okay? Happy birthday, Evan. He's an old man, just like me. But, yes. That is going to be where I'm going to do this. A White Falcon? Yeah. Beautiful guitar. Absolutely beautiful. If I was going to do a Gretsch, though, I'd probably save up. And I'd love to try an old one. Because I never have. Nothing against the Japanese ones. Obviously, I love the Terada Factory, and I love Japanese guitars in general. But I'd love to try an old one. That's like a vintage guitar that's not out of the realm of possibility yet, price-wise. Why not? It'd be fun. I voted yes, but it totally depends on whether I'm interested in the guitar. That's fair. All right, so 60-40 split. I will take it into consideration. I'll tell you what I'm going to do then, you guys. If I feel like it's shit or it's not worth it, like if I really don't like the guitar, I'm not going to post something where I'm just like immediately slamming a guitar. That's just not a good look. It's not a good look because one guitar is not representative to any brand. Doesn't matter who it is. And it's also just negative. I'd rather just not do that. But if I really like it and I really enjoy it, like I did with the Troublemaker, yeah, I'll do it. That's how we'll do this. Hope you all have happy, wonderful birthdays. You're all born close to each other. Funny enough. However, I'm going to get going. I'm going to try and do some pre-pro, and then I got to, have everything ready because as soon as this guitar does come, I have to immediately start going. And I'm just praying to God it comes before 6 o'clock so I can use the Friedman. Otherwise, I'm going to have a hard time filming a guitar demo for a guitar like that. It's not going to get done. But it's out of my hands. Thank you, guys. I'll see you. Love you. Take it easy.